Okay, people. So back from a showing of Babygirl, right? The new film from Halina Reijn, right? She writes and directs the project. She also serves as a producer along with Julia Wu, David Hinojosa. It's executive produced by Christine de Souza Geleb, Erica Hampson, and Zach Newman. Cristobal Tapia Devere took care of the music. Jasper Wolf was on cinematography. Matthew Hannum edits the piece, with Avi Kaufman taking care of casting. Production design is Stephen H. Carter. Molly Mikula is art direction. Kurt and Bert were costume design. Hair and makeup, we've got Courtney Jarrell, Mandy Lyons, Katie McGregor, Mallory Pace, Kuna Ryan, and Anouk Sullivan. Our cast. Well, Romy is played by Nicole Kidman. Hold on for a second. Yeah, Romy Mathis is played by Nicole Kidman. Her husband, Jacob, is played by Antonio Banderas. Her eldest daughter, Isabel, is played by Esther McGregor. Her younger daughter, Nora, is played by Vaughan Riley. Her assistant at work, Esme, is played by Sophie Wilde. Right? We've then got Samuel, her intern, who is played by Harris Dickinson. Who else do we have? There is Anna, played by Isabel Marr. Hedda, played by Gait Jansen. Mr. Mizell, played by Victor Slezk. Robert, played by Anoop Daye. Tom, played by Bartley Booz. Josh, played by Maxwell Whittington-Cooper. Hazel, played by Leslie Silva. The therapist, played by Dolly Wells. I would say that's probably the main lot of people. Yeah, probably. I would probably go that far. Mary, played by Gabrielle Policano. The other interns, played by Gabriela Torres and Max O'Herlihy. Max O'Herlihy? I think, yeah, that's how you pronounce it. Right? Yeah. So, Ophelia is played by Tess McMillan. Yes. And yes, because Mary and Ophelia are dating Isabel, Romy's daughter. Well, Mary is, Ophelia is the neighbour, and there's a tryst, and so the gist of the film: a high-powered CEO puts her career and family on the line when she begins a torrid affair with her much younger intern. Right, so here we go. Now, we don't get ages. There's just this thing about the much younger intern. Yeah, this film, it was odd. It was odd. Right, now, Halina Reijn says she was a big fan of Paul Verhoeven. Yes, that's how you say it. Paul Verhoeven's erotic films of the 80s, right? Along with oh God, what's his? I can't think of the other dudes. Adrian Lynn. All right, they're films from the 80s and the 90s. You know, Basic Instinct and Indecent Proposal being influences on the film, right? And that's why she made this. And yeah, that's fine. I get it. I think for me though, there was things that didn't necessarily come across, right? Like, why did Romy become infatuated with Samuel? Right? Because it seems ever since there's an incident, right, at the very start of the film, a dog is going crazy in the street and attacking someone, and Samuel calms it down. And yeah, that seemed to be the trigger, right? I don't like why. That was a big thing. Maybe I'm missing something, right? But it's just the why. I don't care if it's a film about affairs. I'm not down with affairs, but that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, give me an interesting story. But with this, you know, it's like Samuel is acting real weird, real kind of inappropriate, a little arrogant, aggressive, right? In his body language, in his tone, in the early interactions. So you're just like, firstly, he's an intern. Like, an intern's not acting like that unless there's something else. You know what I mean? If they're the son of someone, right? The daughter of someone. At those times, right? I've seen people come in having, like, with a certain influence behind them, and they can act a certain way. Otherwise, you're not, right? Because you want the reference, right? Usually you're interning, you know, to get work experience. So you're not really looking to fuck things up, right? Because this is really building the foundation of your work career, you know? So his actions at the start were weird, really fucking weird. You know, you're just like, wait, how is he still at the company when because he was acting like that in front of her and other people as well. Right? So, yeah, you're scratching your head. It's baffling. It's baffling. Right? But there's the relationship with her and someone else that you're just like, why? Right? So that aspect of the film seemed a bit odd. Like, I think it's halfway through the film, through a conversation. It's probably 3/4 actually. Right, we learned that Romy and Jacob have been married for like 19 years. Or at least in a relationship for 19 years. So there are things that you're just like, I mean, surely he should know this by, like, you know, he's touching her at the beginning and she's like acting like, I don't like that, or you know, just, and you're just like, wait, are you telling us that they still don't get that aspect of their life? Now, you can definitely, you know, people can keep secrets on their fantasies, right? On, you know, if they've had orgasms and things like that. That, you can definitely be like, oh, they kept that? Rah. But like, that is something that you're just like, no. That seems very odd. That seems very odd. Didn't really make any sense, you know? Right? As I said, I get holding back fantasies. right? Being like, I can't tell them this. They think I'm weird, you know? Yeah, but the other side, it didn't really make any sense for that stage of their relationship, right? So all of that was weird. All of that was weird. Right? We're showing this relationship and, this affair. And like the way it's shot is fine. It did seem to be a dark in tone, right? The filters and stuff. Now, I have just changed my glasses, so maybe it's the tint. I don't know. But it just seemed like it was a darker look to this film, right? We have got this kind of subtle, erotic kind of soundtrack, which, worked. Soundtrack worked, right? But yeah, there was just things about the film that have you scratching your head a little, Like Kidman's character, Romy, is acting very insecure, right? It seems out of work. In work, seemed very determined, Out of work, very insecure around her husband and that. And it's not like we're getting a scenario of him putting her down or anything like that. It seems very affectionate, very loving, And her younger daughter seems to adore her. Older daughter is of that age, right? Issues and, grumpy and all. But even so, still, throughout the film, we have her still, caring for her mother, right? So you're just like, where's this insecurity out of work coming from? So it's there's some baffling things here, right? Showing this kind of film from a female point of view, I have no issue with that at all. It makes it interesting, right? Because we usually get it from the male point of view. So yeah, interesting, but I need to know why, right? I need to know why. Like, why is she infatuated with him? And then you can be like, all right, I can go with this. But yeah, we're not, like, even just her being involved in the mentor program seemed weird. That didn't seem like something that you would put on the CEO, right? Or, CEO may have a mentor, but to make it fair, there would be another way for that to happen, right? Because it would seem like an unfair situation in this context, right? I don't know. I was scratching my head a little. Right, an interesting thing is they decided to, because, Halina, she's Dutch, right? Born in the Netherlands. But they decided to base the film in the States, right? Because of more restrictive workplace rules around dating employees. Now, I'm kind of like, I thought it was frowned upon, and you shouldn't be doing it anywhere. But I don't know, man. Maybe in Holland, hey, it's all gravy. Yeah, I don't know, man. But it's, I think one aspect of it I thought was very interesting was Esme, right? We do have one bit that, I'm just like, why? But the end, right? The way she acts at the end, very different from similar scenarios in other films and TV shows, right? So that was interesting. That was very interesting. I don't know how many people would play it like that. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. Let's be real. How many people doing that? But I was like, okay, we don't see that. I'm down with that. I'm down with that bit. You know what I mean? It's, as I said, look, the film is shot pretty well. There wasn't a particular shot or sequence I was like, whoa, that blew me away. But it was handled well. But there was just things in the film that I didn't really feel made sense story-wise. Just didn't really, it's just I think the affair, it's when the affair comes to light, right? It's the choices Jacob and Romy make. There's just things that you're just like, I mean, huh? Okay. Right? And there's imagery at the end. And I'm just like, wait, are we saying Romy's a bitch? You know what I mean? Like, you'll get it when you see the imagery, but I'm just like, wait, what are we saying with this? What are we saying? It's, it's an odd film. For me, right, I thought Halina's first English language film was better. So she directed Bodies, 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 again at age 24, in 2022, right? I enjoyed the fuck out of that one. I thought that was really good, This one, yeah, a little odd for me. Doesn't really... It's just I didn't really think it made a whole lot of sense. But it's won a lot of awards, right? It's won a lot of awards. So maybe I'm wrong. The Substance has won a lot of awards, right? And I think this is in the same vein as that. If you like The Substance, I think you'll probably like Babygirl. I don't think it's for me. But people, let me know what you think. Did you enjoy Babygirl? Right? Did you think it all made sense? But yeah, Babygirl, it is now doing its thing in the cinema.